We welcome you to our celebration of the fall equinox, the time in the year when the hours of daylight are equal to the hours of night. We come together to share food and stories in celebration of the harvest season. We ask that you join us with open hearts, curious minds, and bodies that need the nourishment of the land.
Hello. I'm going to say some words and then participate in casting our circle. So we cast the circle to mark our sacred space. We separate ourselves in a sacred moment, a time without time, in a place without place, to pause, reflect, and commune with each other and with the divine. We cast this circle far and wide to include all our friends on Zoom. We cast this circle far and wide to include all those we cherish and hold in our hearts. We cast this circle far and wide to include all those we revere and all that we hold sacred. We cast this circle to bring us together, to create connection, to share and experience. And we create a container for wonder, for compassion, and for wholeness of being. So we mark this time and this space as blessed community. Blessed be.
You're good.
Brian, that's you.
Yep, just had to find my match. We call to the east. And the spirit of the east, the air and inspiration to new beginnings. The equinox is the pause before a new cycle. We welcome the coming season. We welcome the east. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
We call to the south and the spirits of the south, the fires of warmth and passion to our desires. The equinox is a balance point between light and dark. We welcome the balance between our desires and our needs. We welcome the south. Hail and welcome.
The west and the spirits of the west, the waters of cleansing and vision to compassion. The equinox is the time of discernment, what to use, what to save for the future, and what to wash away. We welcome the opportunity to choose to let some things go in compassion for ourselves. We welcome the west. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
We call to the north and the spirits of the north, the earth of rest and wisdom, to stillness and stories. The equinox is a moment of pregnant pause. We welcome this space to listen and to grow. We welcome the north. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome.
We welcome the spirits that hold us and support us in this moment. We recognize that all of us in attendance have a relationship to the sacred. Whatever that is for you, we invite you to honor that and bring those spirits into this space. We honor the land on which we stand and from where we reap our bounteous harvests. We welcome and honor our ancestors, be they ancestors of blood, ancestors of the heart, or ancestors of the spirit. We especially welcome and honor the people who were the caretakers of this land before us. Here in the Twin Cities, these are the Dakota, Anishinaabe, and Lakota peoples. Please add the peoples of the land where you are in the chat.
Blessed are we whose spirits the spiral of time has flung together at this harvest table. Kin of owl, of stag, of salmon, of crow, may community sustain us through the darkening days ahead. And may our spirits be matured in the loneliness of lengthening nights. Blessed are we by apple, by pomegranate, by sage, by corn, bean, and squash. May our bellies and our minds know abundance in the cold months to come. May we continue to harvest the glad work of our hands for sustenance, wisdom, and justice. And may we honor the earth, our mother, with gratitude and respect for her generous bounty to all her children. Merry Mabon, and blessed be all our kin.
Because this is a time of harvest, we want to celebrate in gratitude and abundance. So as we share this time and this food, we invite you to share something of the abundance in your life. I'd like to start with the folks on Zoom. And if you raise your hand, it'll make a queue and you can just go in order and not make me call on you, and that would be great. Go ahead, Babs.
I didn't know who was first. I have just an abundance of love in my life, from my spouse, from my community, from my family. I feel really grateful for all of that abundance, love, and support.
I am grateful for an abundance of greenery in my immediate space. My move back to Edmonton for the moment is full of park space and trees and lots of walking paths right outside my door.
I'm grateful for an abundance of opportunities to learn and grow. It's my third year at United, and it feels like I'm still drinking from the fire hose, but I love it. So I'm really grateful. I feel like I've been hungry for this my whole life, and it's here, and I'm thrilled.
I am grateful for the abundance of supportive friends and colleagues who, as I begin this journey this year with the D-Man, and who ask me questions of how's it going, or I'm so excited about your ideas, or keep me in the loop and just engage me in this process. And also coworkers who create the space so I can do this and have the time that I need. And so just so much abundance.
I am grateful for an abundance of chaos in my life. For without that chaos, how would I also recognize the order and times of respite that are gifted to me?
Do either of the other one of you want to go? Pat, Grace?
I'm grateful for the intimacy of the turning of fall up north where you really cannot avoid it. It is here and it's beautiful.
I feel like Meg, I'm in the same room as Meg right now, so I am thankful for an abundance of good health care because I'm diabetic and I have really good health care right now. And every day I'm just remember how important that is. And I'm having some diabetes issues right now. So I'm just remembering how important that is.
Thank you. And now the table.
Hello. I'll just say I am grateful for this extended season of warmth that we're having here in Minnesota right now, which I, as someone who has come to Minnesota in adulthood, just every day of the beautiful sunshine and having it be wonderful to be outside is an incredible gift. So, oh, and Malia, Hausnecht.
Demian Wheeler. I am immensely grateful for the abundance of passionate, compassionate, and brilliant students.
I'm Vanta Pearson, and I'm grateful for an abundance of wise people.
I'm Cheryl Swihart, and I'm grateful for the abundance of the birds and the insects and the squirrels and the raccoons who are busy readying for winter. They provide me with much entertainment.
I'm Molly Marshall, and I am immensely grateful for this community that has made a good home for me.
I'm Micah Shea, and I'm grateful for the abundance of support in my life. It's such a blessing right now. Everywhere I turn, there's a hand out to somebody that's willing and able to help me along my path, and in all aspects of my life, from family to chosen family. Everyone is hand out and willing to help, and that's new, and I think it's because I'm just realizing it, so I'm grateful for that.
I'm Julia Bloom, and I'm grateful for an abundance of social energy in me that I don't usually have. Lately, it feels like it's opening up again, maybe after lockdown or something.
Bridget Weber. I'm grateful for an abundance of people in the Twin Cities who like to sing. And I feel like I've been finding just so many like song circles and lots of song community here. It's really exciting.
Yeah, that was going to be mine too. I feel really grateful for an abundance of songs and friends who love to sing.
I'm Emily Meyer, and I am grateful for open spaces. I'm blessed with lots of places I can go that are open, and that's good for my soul.
Hi, I'm Megan Bechtel. Sorry to kind of disrupt things. School pickup was a little bit of a bear today. I am very grateful to be here celebrating, and yeah, also to have a butterfly garden close to me now, which is giving me a lot of life.
Hi everyone on Zoom here. I'm Nikki. I'm really grateful to be at this table with you. I'm really grateful to see you online. I'm really grateful for this community. I'm kind of falling hard for you. So I'm trying to keep that under wraps. And this is Megan. She's from my church at Solomon's Porch. And she's like, oh, you're doing the autumn equinox? Can I come? So here she is.
I am grateful for the abundance of community in my life, a way that I feel immensely rich. Micah here is from Twin Cities Gay Men's Chorus, where I sing, an amazing community. I am so grateful that the United community re-embraced me with open arms recently, and I am more than happy to embrace United back. And I'm very grateful.
And this is Lisa again. I am grateful for this community. I have immersed myself to a large degree since I started here several years ago now. And I don't know if I would have made it through, the pandemic and everything else without having this space and being held by all of you. And I'm also really grateful that y'all came to Pagan Chapel. So thank you for coming. That's great. Now, I made lots of time here because, this is dinner hour and to eat and stuff. So if anybody's got something else that they want to share about the season or something else that they want to share in this community about what's going on in their lives, feel free. And there's bread and butter and cookies and cheese and crackers here if anybody wants anything. But because today is such a crazy busy day at United, I don't know if anybody's actually hungry. And if nobody's got anything to say, then we can also just... I got a question. I'll be that person. And that's the other thing I was going to say. Anybody want to ask questions? So go ahead, ask your question.
Okay. I know for me, this is my first time experiencing an intentional pagan service, particularly in autumn equinox. Could you, or someone, or everyone, because I'm pretty sure there's no one answer, could maybe that be shared collectively for those that knowledge and experience around the significance of the 4 candles and the elements and...
I will start. Sure. I will start by saying that anytime you're talking about these celebrations in American paganism, you are going to see a Wiccan bias, and we certainly have one, both in terms of the structure of the ritual and in some of the symbology that we've chosen to use. But the autumn equinox, the harvest celebrations, this is an astronomical phenomenon, right? The equal days and nights. And a lot of cultures that we think of as primitive recognized that and acknowledged it in their local ceremonial contexts. And, that might have been just a harvest meal, Thanksgiving kind of celebration, those sorts of things. And so, yeah, it goes across. There are a lot of answers for that. And if you're in the southern hemisphere, this is the spring equinox. Again, equal night, equal day, but what you're doing is looking at the light getting greater rather than less. And so the celebration is still there of that balance point, but what you're celebrating is sort of the relief and coming out of the darkness as opposed to that sort of harvest that happens up here in the autumn. And the quarters, calling the directions, again, this is something that is often acknowledged in multiple cultures, but the associations that we used and the order that we did it is very much sort of Wiccan biased. So we've got east and air, we've got a feather and a yellow candle. And you heard the associations when we did the quarter calls of some of the things that those quarters represent in Wiccan traditions. In the south, we have fire and a red candle. And what are the beads? They just represent fire. Just the color, the beads for fire? No, they're not part of heathen ceremony. It's very much a Wiccan bias. And then the west is water and blue candle, and the north is earth and a green candle. And I did ask, in case y'all didn't notice, Brian called the east, and he's out in Pennsylvania. And Babs called the south, and she is in St. Louis. And I asked somebody who didn't come to call the west, who was out in California, and Pan is in Canada to call the north. So to pull that directionality there as well. All right. And that's more than you ever wanted to know about.
You need to get your geography right on where the South is.
I understand, but I asked Tristan. South of here. Everything is south of here. Totally false history of Mabon. Oh, I love that. Mabon is a Welsh name for the holiday. And there are, again, the Wiccan bias. It's the equinox is sort of the neutral term. Anybody else want to, not just Wiccan? Well, yeah.
Brian, tell us about what you might be doing at this time of year or not.
Gather to celebrate the harvest, have some toasts and boasts, possibly light a fire, which if the rain holds off, I will be doing that after this little scenario. I'm going to go out and light a fire in the backyard, not in the yard, in the fire pit.
Brian, do you do the need fire and then bringing the fire from outside to inside at this time of year?
I don't, but some groups around here do that.
If you think about it, with the nights getting longer, now you're going to move inside and you want that warmth rather than out in the fields. And one of the runes is a rune for that particular kind of the need fire, the kind of fire you're going to cook on, the kind of fire that you need to stay warm in the winter. Any other questions? Go ahead. No? Any other questions or comments? Yeah, I love Babs. But Babs doesn't look like she's talking, so. No?
Sorry, I'm in my car on my phone and it's just confusing. So
It is, it's very confusing.
sorry, I'm not used to doing Zoom on my phone.
Well, if that is all, then I am going to pass around, or ask you to pass around because my hands are full, a glass of water to everybody, little bit of water to everybody so we can have a toast. Grab something to drink, grab a glass so we can have a toast. Yeah, you don't have to use the water. If you've got something else, you can, but I just want to make sure everybody had something. It's not special water. It is. Heavy water, carrying water for No. This is really heavy. Yeah. This is a two-handed affair for me. All water is sacred. Yes. Yes, thank you. Then I will toast with water instead of with what's left of my coffee. All coffee is sacred too. Thank you. Okay. So, closing with a toast in thanks for the gratitude that we all share, for the sharing that people have offered, and for the community that we've created. Here's to the abundance in our lives, thanks to the gods. Blessed be. It is the raucous end of the table. Do, then you're up.
All right, so thank you to all the spirits we have welcomed. Thank you to the East and the spirits of the East. Walking around to the South. Thank you to the South and the spirits of the South. Over to the West. Thank you to the West and the spirits of the West. Thank you to the North and the spirits of the North. Coming back into our center. Thank you for this space, this time, this sharing. Merry we have met, merry we have been, merry we shall part, and merry meet again. Yay!
Thank you all for joining us.
Yes. My birthday. So thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Very excited. So we do have a spring equinox. I'm just saying, and we do have that already on the calendar. I'm just kind of saying. I'm just kind of saying. And next week, we will be having cookies and coloring led by our theology and the arts co-conspirators, include Jennifer Oz Friedman. So it's going to be magical, and please join us on Zoom. Please join us here, and blessed be.